gentlemen, the first man to build 21-inch biceps, drug-free.
Let me ask you another question then. Okay, the meals are important, the protein is important. We train hard, we leave the gym. Now, I've seen some guys leave the gym, light up a cigarette, and drive away. I, personally, after I train, is have a post-workout protein drink. Because I think after you train is the time to put that nutrition back in your body, right?
Because after you train, Rick, watch your body tune in. When you train, the body shuts down. It goes in repair mode.
Yeah.
And just like Rick say, when it shuts down and repair, give it what it needs repair. And you'll be amazed. And these guys have no idea. Like Rick said, they'll have a drink or something, or it's just like a cigarette. They don't even relate it.
No.
They don't tune in. And the guys that make it are guys that tune in. When we were, I'll never forget, this is fast. We were so hungry for something when we were training. This was primitive days in our days. This is when people looked at you and thought you were muscle bound and carried these stories of, oh, I know a guy, he had so much muscle, he couldn't raise his arm and all that kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I used to tell him, I said, well, I used to hit him right in the face because that's what I said. Well, then how did he build? I said, the best way to build muscle is not to raise your arm. Being that raised it, he was too. I said, then how did he build his muscles if he couldn't raise his arm? Oh, I don't know. It's tail. I know a guy, he had so many lats, he couldn't put his arm to his side. This was like putting down training, you know, because it was so primitive then. But go ahead, Rick. What are you going to ask the mic? We're going to ask the mic.
What you're saying is back then, and even now, the guys that train, they walk around with a lat spread and their arms out like they can't move them. And you know you don't have to walk like that. It's just an ego thing. So you're not too muscular that you can't walk like a normal guy. I mean, Arnold always walked like a normal guy. But what I'm saying is you get older, the nutrition's even more important because your body isn't young. It's not repairing as quick as it did when it was young. And if you're over 40 or 50 or 60, and you guys write to me all the time, what do we do about training? I'm getting older. I'm not getting this. Or you're just starting training. Where do I begin? You start with a nice weight program, but you get a definitely nutrition program because that's 80% of what's going to build your body.
What you got to remember is that's what's fascinating why old people come apart. You need more nutrition when you're old than when you're young. It's just like the only difference between you and a machine is that your body will adjust inefficiently and a machine won't. If I told you to go out and drive without gasoline, you think I was nuts. But you get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee and a donut, and wonder why you're worn out all day. Mm-hmm. And the body adjusts. The body complains that don't explain. I say this all the time. The tragedy with older people is that they don't understand how essential nutrients are. More essential when you're young, because when you're young, it's like a brand new car. It compensates. You compensate. Everything's like, but when you're older, you know you got to change your oil more often. Just think of your body as a machine. Measure your body to a machine and see the difference in how it works. The only difference between the two is the body will adjust and the machine won't. That's the difference. And these older guys, they get up and have a little cereal, a cup of coffee, because they're old and they don't realize they're killing themselves. They're aging before their time. They don't have any vital force. And you know one of the indications of your vital force? Your grip. When I go get my blood tested from the doctor, he has this gripping machine. They tell what's called your vital force. Older, feeble people have no grip at all. And I squeeze that thing, that needle squeezes up, and I feel so damn good. I say, because I call myself a geezer. Anybody get to my numbers is a geezer. So, and I say, Doc, let me hear it. So he does like that to me because he knows that the needle's going to jump up. He says it's one of the indications of your vitality, how you will overcome a trauma that happens to you, an accident. You know, some guys fall down, break their hip, and their bodies are so depleted in vitality, they die.
Yep, that happens all the time.
You know, they die. They got no, you know, what's fascinating me also, Rick, I used to think if you had pneumonia, go to the hospital, that was it. You were well. And I had the guy who had pneumonia, died in the hospital. I said, why are you going to die in the hospital? You know what happened? All they can do in the hospital is kill the virus that causes pneumonia. Your body has to have enough vitality to take over, because there's not a nutrient known to man. I mean, there's not a drug known to man that builds your immune system. Immunity is only built with nutrients.
And that's the same thing with your immune system when you get sick when you train. You know, you're not eating right, so you're going to get sick. And it depends on how your condition as a kid. If you're growing up and not eating properly, as an adult, you're not going to eat properly as well. So when a guy joins the gym and he's 40, 45 years old, I've never done this before, they're used to eating nothing and eating crap and not having breakfast and getting by on a coffee and a cigarette in the morning. You got to change all that.
Because, and they expect it.
Yeah.
They expect, and you know why I'm so fascinated? I mean, I'm not the man I was, but I am fascinated. I can't believe I'm as old as I am. Because I went for the same, I expect to be no energy, tired, dragging around. I expected it. I mean, I don't know. I think this is what old people do. And I don't feel that way. And so I can't comprehend. I said, I'm this goddamn old. You know?
He is.
Because the number, I use a number like I am now. I'm 79 now. When somebody said they were 75, 70, I was wondering why they still standing. Well,
Yeah.
you're not in the ground yet?
I remember when I saw a friend that was 30, I thought he was old. You know, now I'm twice that.
What you told me, what?
When a friend of mine turned 30, I said, "You're old.
Oh yeah.
You're old."
And when you're young, and you go all day on a banana, that's how vibrant the body is. And I'll tell you something. It's a very short period where you have that kind of recovery. Most of you guys know Phelps, that unbelievable swimmer. He's coming back and he's training again, and he's lifting more weights. He's getting thicker and everything. And so they says, what do you find differently now than when you're in your early 20s? He's 26 now.
Yeah.
And he said recovery, and I almost fell out. I said, that goddamn recovery, buddy, it slows down as you age. But aging is a wearing out process. It's the speed in which you wear out. You're either going to race to old age or you're going to coast. I know I'm coasting because I know how I feel and the way I feel. And what angers me is that I don't have the energy that I used to take for granted. I don't have that money. But when I see my friends around, something, another thing gets me? It's all the boys I grew up with are no longer here. Very few of the guys that I grew up with, all the old times I grew up, they're all gone. Very few of them made 80. And when I look at that and I say, but as a lot of these guys that train, they really weren't into maximizing the nutrition. They really didn't understand it. Most guys just in protein, they didn't take multiple. They wasn't, they did a lot of protein. And a lot of them, all they focus on was protein, and maybe some guys took vitamins, but they weren't as into nutrition as they could have been in, and they didn't understand it.
You know why? Because it wasn't a lifestyle with them, like it is with us. It's a lifestyle. So every day it's the same thing over and over and over. It vary a little bit, but guys would train for shows back in the days. Guys your age who are dead now, and they get in shape for a show, and then they get out of shape, and they wouldn't be consistent about their nutrition throughout the year. It was just for the short time of a show, and that's why they call it on season, off season. But guys like you or me who have been around a long time, there is no on off season. We're in season full time, 12 months a year, and that's what maintains your body, maintains the lower body fat and your muscle as well.
100%. I quit this bitch.
Wait a minute. Before you click away, I want you to subscribe, like, comment, hell, even dislike if you want to. At least do something before you get out of here.